Alrighty, good afternoon. Welcome to the Gothenburg Learning Center. My name is Shawn McDonald, Technical Field Associate here at the Learning Center. So, starting to warm up here this spring. Last week we were having snow, but now it's, as you can see, it's for the most part melted off now. And this is a great year to be thinking about scouting around for a lot of our early season weeds. So, took a little time this morning, and as you can see, if you can barely see down here, we have a nice amount of kochia starting to come up. So kochia, especially around this neck of the world, is arguably one of the most problematic weeds we deal with and face. So right around this time of year is a great time for a lot of growers in our area to be scouting around for things like kochia, mare's tail, henbit, all important weeds we need to be thinking about. When we see these weeds, another thing we think about is looking at some of our fall or our spring burn downs. So in our lineup, we look at things maybe of adding or applying maybe a little bit of Roundup, as well as a little bit of dicamba to knock down some of these weeds. Now, when we look at something like kochia, there's been a lot of noted cases of resistance, especially things like glyphosate, some of our ALS chemistries. But the reason I want to add that to the tank is there's a lot more weeds out there, especially early in the spring, which Roundup is still a great option to control. If we can look around here, we find maybe a little bit of tansy mustard. Roundup is a great control method for that. Now, when we look at things like dicamba applications, if we're planting into corn, great. Dicamba is a great option for early season burn down. If we're going to say something like our XtendFlex soybean, dicamba is a great burn down option to keep our fields clean. Other things we might want to look at if we're looking at something like corn, potentially adding a little bit of residual. So we're still a little bit of a ways till planting season. So there's still time for more flushes of weeds to emerge as we start to warm up and get a little bit more moisture in the system. So products like Corvus or maybe a little bit of Balance Flex before going into corn, it can be a great option. It provides a nice residual with one of those HPPDs. When we look at things like rates on that, we want to maybe look to maybe a little bit of a lower rate on that, just so we can maybe touch up on that as soon as we get into corn freeze. So a big thing in mind is we want to think about this time of year is we want to keep clean and we want to stay clean. So when we look at things like herbicide applications, make sure to always read and follow label instruction. Remember, label is the law. So that's all for us here at the Learning Center.
Thanks for watching this video from the Gothenburg Water Utilization Learning Center. For more information, please call 308-537-4500.